What is happening, guys? I'm Dan. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving back into more Bell's beer. I've been breaking down a few of the Bell's seasonals lately. This is the special Double Cream Stout, Sweet Stout, and it is clocking it at 6.1% ABV. To my surprise, I have not reviewed this on the channel. There's a couple Bell's beers that I've had many years ago, and they're very well-known beers, such as this one, and I just haven't reviewed it on the channel for whatever reason. So Bell's is a much larger company than ever before nowadays. Obviously, we know Larry Bell's long gone, so we'll see. I know they have not changed the recipes. That would just not be wise. They never have, hopefully, and they never will. So we're going to break this down in 2024. Is a special Double Cream Stout still good? I think so, guys. I really liked it back in the day. I mean, the last time I probably had this beer was probably 2019, if I had to guess. And there's just really no reason for me to pick it up because I do enjoy it. I know I do like this beer, but it's just not something I go out of my way for. But we'll investigate today and see what it's about. So some of the history, we'll go to the back. Named for its velvety, smooth, creamy texture, Bell's Double Cream Stout is brewed with 10 different specialty roasted malts chosen to impart notes of rich mocha and espresso. Dark and sweet tones intermingle with a soft, roasty finish. So I think the Double Cream Stout and the Expedition Stout is what is used to make the Black Note from Bell's, one of my favorite beers of all time. So that's the extra little knowledge I have to share with you today, and this is best by September of 25. This thing's good forever, so I don't know, what is this, freaking good for a year apparently? So I probably imagine they bottled this last month, and it is 10:11 time of recording. So we'll get into this one, guys, see what it's about. Nice pop off the top, won't lie. And again, I haven't had this in many years, so it's gonna be fun to break this down. I think this is like $11.99 for a 6-pack, so pretty good value and availability. Not sure how much longer it will be in the market. So as we pour, pretty jet black. There was some brown tinge in there, and there's a dark mocha head sitting on top, dark beige, if you will, and it's slightly creamy, but it's still sudsy and kind of dissipating a little bit. It's definitely known for its creaminess. I see it here. Moderate to low carbonation streaming to the top, guys. Yeah, let's see. I feel like a lot of people in the comment section lately have really been talking about some of the older Bell's beers they really loved over the years. This is probably one of them, I would imagine. But it's just cool that Bell's is continuing on these great beers. Again, I don't go out of my way for this one, but I do really remember liking it. Let's get an aroma. Smells pretty roasty, truthfully. There's a lot of malt bill in here, obviously 10 different kinds, and it smells a little bit charred and roasty, dark and kind of bitter in the same token. There's a little bit of coffee presence. Actually, there's a lot of coffee presence. I feel like there's notes of espresso for sure. And again, more charred, kind of like dark roast, French roast kind of mix. A little bit of dark chocolate bitterness. It smells bitter and dry while it still does bring like a little bit of like a mocha vanilla sweetness to the table. I'm getting a little bit of the sweetness up front, and then on the back, that kind of bittered, charred kind of roastiness is definitely impacting my nostrils as I kind of breathe it in slowly. And again, I am getting a little bit of more mocha sweetness, a little bit of more vanilla, blending into the roasted kind of charred thing. I think this is like quite roasty for saying, did they say semi-roasty? Specialty roasted malts, dark with sweet tones intermingle with soft roasty finish. So it's supposed to be a roasty finish. Let's dive in. It's espresso, it's coffee, it's mocha, it's sweet, it's dry at the same time. Let's dive in, guys. Bell's Double Cream, special Double Cream Stout. Cheers. Super roasty, super bitter, very charred. Wow, is it that bitter? I don't know if I remember that. So, guys, if you've been watching the channel, you know me. I like dry, I like not so sweet, I like very roasted and dry back ends of stouts and porters. This is exceptionally roasted, super roasty, slightly charred, borderline insanely bitter for being a Bell's special Double Cream Stout. Like, the sweetness is gone on the back end. So much charred roastiness, so much bitterness from dark chocolates and the roasted malts themselves, guys. Roasted molasses, heavy on the back end, super charred. I'm actually a little bit taken back. Like, charred roasted espresso notes, charred malts. Again, the bitterness is exceptional on this beer. Almost a level too much. Like, I almost want a little bit more of the mocha and sweetness up front to linger a little bit longer, but they are just overpowered by this bittered roasty back end, and I love bitter roasty, guys. If you don't like roast that much, I'm not so certain you're gonna go for this beer. I don't know if it's always been that charred and roasty. To me, these are exceptionally roasted and charred malts. A little bit of chew, almost feels velvety like an oatmeal stout for a moment. It's not quite as heavy, but it does have a nice soft buttery mouthfeel. There are notes of mocha, there are notes of chocolate. I would say a little bit of milk chocolate up front, but it's dark bitter, 85% dark chocolate. I mean, just super, super dried up, gets your palate layered up, but then just smuckered, puckered, gone. Just crazy. It's not tart, it's just, it is absorbed so quickly, that sweetness, and there is none left on the back end, guys. Not a trace of sweetness on the back end. Again, I'm a little bit shocked. Like, I want more mocha, I want more sweetness, I want a little bit more subtle sweetness to add to this beer. I feel like it is so roasted. Like, I can only say that so much. For me, it's actually a little bit overwhelming. This is a good beer, but I honestly think it's a little too roasty and bitter. I would like to see that sweetness shine a little bit more, and again, not be so over-dominated by that roast. I would love that mocha to shine. I would love a little bit more silky, milky vanilla and chocolate to shine, but it just gets overpowered. Tons of coffee roast, French roast, dark roast, all day long. This beer is a bitter beast, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Good mouthfeel. Sharp and bitter. Again, I want another. I just want another quick layer of sweetness up front in the middle, and it's just dominated by that back end. So is this a little bit different than I remember? Potentially. It's been so long, I don't know, guys, but this is the most charred and bitter roasted back end of a sweet stout ever I've had in a long time. So I'm just gonna sit with it's a lot, and it's overwhelming on the palate to a certain degree, and I love roasted and charred malts. All right, guys, where I'm sitting with this, again, wish it was a little bit more balanced. It goes a little too charred and roasted for me, and that's saying a lot for me, guys. So I'm gonna go with a 3.75 out of 5. That's where I stand on this one, guys. It's the special double cream stout from Bell's. Thank you so much for being here. I want a little bit more sweetness. You're not bringing it. If you're gonna pour a beer, pour Michigan beer.